Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. I apologize for what happened earlier because the internet that I'm sharing from my phone at that moment went out. So I had to restart this. This is not intended to be a long presentation, as a brother has an appointment that he must make today and handle a matter. All right. Who eats first? The man, the woman, or the child? In many cases in Israel, people say the man or the father would be the one to eat first. Brothers and sisters, we are the sons of the Most High. In the Bible, in the book of Psalms, chapter 50, the Most High said, if I were hungry, I will not tell you, for the cattle on 1,000 hills are mine. So looking at that, brothers and sisters, we know good and well that we can't feed our Father in heaven, the Most High. We know and understand that. The Most High said, open your mouth wide and I will fill it. The Most High gave the children of Israel manna in the wilderness and gave them water to drink. He fed his people, brothers and sisters. So we just want to show that, if we will, as an intro to what we're talking about. Who eats first? Is it the man? Is it the woman? Or is it the children? Now, in the understanding of Israel, brothers and sisters, we have, when we speak about, say, the lion of the tribe of Judah, when we speak about, brothers and sisters, the people of Gad having faces like lions, when we speak, brothers and sisters, about the lion's whelp of the tribe of Dan, to my knowledge, the lioness is the one who goes and gets food for her family. Not that the lion doesn't have any particular responsibility, because he does. He is a defender of the pride against the hyenas. In the Bible, in the book of Proverbs, the 31st chapter, which speaks of the virtuous woman, it says that the virtuous woman provideth food for her household. It doesn't state really there who is fed first. In the culture of Israel, this is in the law, in Leviticus chapter 19, it says, you shall revere the face of the elders. In Israel, we revere our elders according to our law and our custom. So now, if I'm married to a woman and her father, who is by default my father-in-law, comes over to eat, it will be improper for his daughter, my wife, to feed me before her father. If anything, knowing that it says you shall honor the face of the elders, would it not be wise for me and his daughter to cook the food together and then serve him? When, brothers and sisters, the men came to Abraham in the Bible in Genesis 18, Abraham said to his wife, go quickly, fetch a calf and cook it. Abraham fed his guest, not knowing who his guests were first. Abraham did not have his guest sit down and have his wife feed him, her husband, in front of the guests. That's not the hospitality of Abraham that you hear many Israelites speak on. So we have to then know and ask, where do we get the concept or the custom in Israel to think that the man, the father of the household, must be fed first? There's no law stating that. Now, it's wrong if it's done. But brothers and sisters, when a man has to sit there and say that the children need to see him being fed first, that's a problem. The children already know, when you go into Ezekiel chapter 18, it says the son, if he sees the ways of his father. So the Bible is letting you know that children watch. The Bible tells you regarding the matter of Passover, that your children shall ask you, what mean we by this service? And you shall answer your child accordingly. And this is in the Bible in Exodus chapter 12. So obviously, you're feeding your children. The Bible says in Deuteronomy chapter 6, you shall diligently teach your children. Now, I want to point out, brothers and sisters, it is not against the law of the scriptures to be fed first as the father or as the man of the household. It is a culture matter that we are addressing. Is it cultural to have your father-in-law, or even your father to be fed after you? If you want to say the man of the house should be fed first, how do you feed a son-in-law before the father-in-law? Would not the father gain honor over the sons? Should not that be the case in the house of Israel? I want to read something, brothers and sisters, if we will, in part, right? Yeah, I'm going to need a new Apocrypha. The covenant came off. This is my Apocrypha. This is what happens when, one, you read a lot, and two, you don't take care of it. So let's not just say, oh, that's a studious brother. That's also a brother who didn't take care of his book. Let's say that too. We want to read in Ecclesiasticus chapter 3. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter that ye may be safe. For Yah have given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Who so honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins. And he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. So what are we saying in reading that? If I know good and well that a patriarch of the family is around, say a father-in-law, why will I think I'll be doing an honorable thing, being young enough to be my wife's brother from her dad or mom, to sit there and have this elder who's coming as a guest to be fed first, me being fed first? As we wanted to point out briefly again, when the guest came to Abraham's house and Abraham did not know who he was entertaining, Abraham did not have who we see later on were the angels, the Malachim of Yah, the angels or messengers of the Most High. He didn't feed them after being fed. He fed the guests first. So there was already an order and a protocol that was already seemingly to be established. So the generation in many cases from 1975 to say now 1995 was in many cases raised without fathers in the house. Could that be a reason why the black man today in his 30s, 40s, and even older feels that a child has to see him being fed first, as if you're in competition with your children? I need you to see me being fed first so that I can establish an order. What if, as I've asked before, you, the father in the house, work hours that are the same time frame for breakfast hours, lunch hours, and or dinner hours? If you have a job and say the shift goes from 4 p.m. until 12 a.m. or 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., in cases like that, you're not even home in many cases when the children are being fed the dinner. So how are they going to be able, under that understanding, to be taught by seeing the father being fed first on the matter? Should you make sure you be home to make sure that the children see you being fed first, when you can sit there and be out there respectfully and righteously gaining revenue for the home? The mindset, brothers and sisters, of the people are not there. I was told, well, yeah, if you're out working, then yeah, the children should eat first. So in that case, we got to ask, what if you and your lady need to talk about not per se carnal matters, but what if you all need that talk time about bills, which is none of the children's business? You may want to talk about a promotion, or heaven forbid, something that's not even happy with your spouse. That's none of the children's business. So why not have the children eat and have them clean the kitchen or clean the dishes, or eat and be excused from the table so parents can talk about a subject? You know why? Because I'm a state, no disrespect intended. Many of us were raised without our fathers, so we weren't used to even seeing being excused from the table because mommy and daddy got to talk about something that's not for children's ears. So now when we become men, and some of us have become parents and fathers, we feel this woman should feed me first, and the children that she bore me should sit there and see it. As if you're in competition with your children, and they need to sit there and see that in order to know that you have to be honored. See, you're watching me being honored, so now you know to honor me. No, they know to honor you because they already know what you're doing, because as we pointed out, children already watch because they know what parent to go to for what. They know what parent to go to when they want to have the other parent to be coerced, if you will, into getting something. So children observe, and it's not to sound mean, children plot, children scheme, and children plan, because it's not always say upon wickedness by plotting or scheming. So I want to say plan as well. So brothers and sisters, this is, as stated, not going to be long, but necessary. There is nothing wrong with feeding the father or the man of the house first. But one is not a commandment or a statute. It's not a thing of a kata'ah or a sin or an awon, an iniquity, or a pegul, an abomination, or a to'eba, a detestable thing, if children are eating before their father. Sometimes it might have to be like that. So when we have to be told, well, the man is supposed to get the biggest plate, the largest plate goes to the man. The man physically is the largest. Why will he not get the largest plate? See how much we forget when we're trying to sit there and just force honor and force authority as opposed to it just coming naturally? You understand? So if you need a child to see you eating first for your honor, if this white man system shut down and there's no food coming in, who then is the true provider? Black men, step up.